I want to address that before we even jump into this video. It's all perspective, bro. That's why it's no higher or lower, because it depends on your perspective of what's higher or lower. Someone else's perspective could be opposite of your perspective, and then therefore would be no higher or lower. It would be just different. All of it is just different, unless y'all agreeing on the same perspective. Carrying on. Let's see. The title of this video is I Proposed, but Waiting on You to Get It Together. Why women stay a fiance for years and years. Okay, cool. Again, I for one gonna say it again. At the start of the video, 10 feet down, you don't have to get married to have a successful relationship. I stand on that.
For like 8 years. And then they like built this whole house. They built this whole life together. Like the kids and already came, the house and already came, but this engagement is still an engagement. Why are folks not getting married? How long is too long to be engaged?
How long is too long?
I think it varies. I think it just depends on the person that you're with and what y'all comfortable with and what y'all talk about and agree to. So I don't really think it's a time limit. But I do think personally.
And see, I'm about to sound like I'm contradicting. I'm gonna let it play a little bit more. My bad. Let it play.
If you engage with somebody, 4, 5, 6, 7 years plus, then you're not really looking to get married.
Yeah, that's false shocking.
Cause you engaged, right?
Yeah.
How long you been engaged?
6 years.
No, like 6 months.
Since like February. Yeah, like.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, but you getting married in 2025.
Yeah, because sometimes you want to get that money up.
Because you're not trying to postpone and push out because you really love your girl, you really want to be with her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times you think.
Yeah, now I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. If you already get engaged, you already have the intentions of getting married, bro. I wouldn't even say get engaged. If you was to get engaged, it doesn't make sense to postpone the wedding for years on years on years unless you literally just can't afford the wedding. It doesn't make sense to get engaged and not have the intention of getting married. That doesn't make sense. It literally doesn't make sense.
Engaged to be so long because of something that 2K has said in the past. A lot of men don't necessarily want to be married. They be trying to pacify y'all. And a lot of y'all be settling with these men, and you be settling with these men. These men really don't rock with you like that. They don't cover you. They don't protect, they don't provide. They don't do any of that. But you just be happy to have a body to sleep next to at night.
You can do all that and not be married. You can do all that and not be married.
Let me tell you something, baby. You deserve so much more than that. You do. You deserve somebody that's going to love on you, that's going to build you up, that's going to pour into you, that's going to really protect and provide. When I tell you protect and provide, I don't mean just money. I mean literally cover you like God called a man to do. 2K, what's wrong? Because your chest looking big right now.
Yeah, because you sitting up here lying to them hoes.
About what? About what?
Everything you just said was a lie. Why you think they deserved it?
They do.
Listen, this how it goes. I proposed because I want you to be my wife, right?
Right.
All right. Now, how long this proposal is determined on you.
How?
You going through my phone, year. You disrespecting me, another year. Because we have to.
He trolling. He trolling.
You
trolling. I don't even agree with marriage from a secular standpoint, from a modern standpoint. But bro, you trolling. Because if you get engaged, the purpose of getting engaged is to get married afterwards, bro. What the? Doesn't make sense. Just don't get engaged then. Does getting engaged keep the woman longer? Maybe I need to look at that study. I need to see that data. Does getting engaged make the relationship last longer? I don't know. I don't. Because that doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to get engaged, you might as well just get married. It's just one step. It's just one ceremony. One day out the fucking year. Boom, get it over with. Go ahead and get it over with. Whatever song that is. And just, boom, now you're married. It's just that simple. I don't understand the waiting aspect of after you get engaged. That doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. You should already be vetted before you get engaged.
Always said the day that you get on that knee, you better be ready to get married that day.
Facts.
You need to be
I agree.
At that point. Now, I agree. I have a 2-3-3. It's 2 weeks to plan a date. It's 2 years to figure out what we're doing, and then you got 2 years max because I want a big wedding when I do that. So we need a little bit of extra time.
Time out. Hold on. Wait. So
intention.
I hate when they do this shit nowadays. Well, man, shut the fuck up.
No, she wasn't saying plan a date as far as wedding. She said plan a date as far as us going out and not 2 weeks. Because what happened is, if you don't give somebody a timeline on when they can plan on hanging out with you, they gon' what you doing you to death. Oh, good morning, sweetheart. Okay, cool. What we doing here, though, cuz? What's really going on here?
Right.
So you gotta set a standard for when somebody's gonna take you out, because if not, they're just gonna keep on playing with your time and your energy.
No, Randy. Well, listen. When I propose, that is my proposal to marry you.
Right.
Okay. This is a proposal. So all of you are going and bringing to the negotiation table is problems. So guess what? The proposal.
Then you don't propose to the bitch. Bro, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Then you just don't propose to her. You don't propose to a woman unless you are ready to get married. You should be vetting, doing all that shit until, number one, you are finished your vetting process completely and utterly, and number two, she's damn near begging for you to get married, etc. And number three, you should already have that in mind because you wanted that. Not because of what she wanted, because of what you wanted, bottom line. So I disagree wholeheartedly with this shit. But if you're gonna get engaged, you might as well just get married.
Keeps getting restarted.
It sounds like the proposal should be called off then, because if I go to a business, we're business partners, right? Let's say we're business partners, and I write up a proposal to expand our business.
Okay.
And you say, that's a good idea, but let's wait. That's a good idea, but let's wait.
Yeah. The fuck?
I literally have an entire package that I have put together and shown you why it makes sense for us to expand and go into these different markets and make it, make our brand bigger.
No.
But if you're not, exactly, and that's really what it be.
We got Trent in the building. He says, I would just dug in my pocket and throw something at my opponent in order to win. He's stupid. Oh, you must be talking about the Mr. Beast I just watched. You ever thought of getting the monkey app? Nah, not really. But I might, just for some fun and giggles, man. I definitely might, just for some fun and giggles. I think every man should be experienced in talking to the opposite sex. I think every man should be experienced in talking to women. I think every man should be experienced in sales to some degree. And you can't have... I don't think you can go through life and not being able to be socially calibrated as a phenomenal man. Bottom line, you have to be socially calibrated. You got to know how to negotiate. You got to know how to be seductive. You got to know how to win friends and use enemies. You got to be able to manipulate. You got to be able to influence, all of those things. So I truly think that most men need to be on the monkey app if that's how you're going to get your interaction. Most people do go to college, though, and they don't need the monkey app. They don't need all this other extra shit. But if you don't go to college or you're out of the game and you don't really have no social cues, you don't have game like that, yes, get on the monkey app and just talk to people. It don't even have to be bitches. It could be just niggas. You see a nigga, hey man, that's a nice shirt. Boom, next. And get that social awkwardness out of your system. So when you go outside in the real world, it's easier. It's a lot easier for you to actually talk to people.
I don't even really, what I'm saying? Most of the time when dudes propose to women, right, it's normally the women that says, hey, I plan on being this by this day, right? Mm-hmm. And the dude don't want to lose the girl. At the same time, he's not ready even to marry her. So he'll say, all right, I'll propose to you. So those years is really his intention of how he wants to see you in the first place.
That's manipulation.
Versus being like, okay, I'm actually with you for this and that. Because if you're ready to be, I believe even get on your knee, you have to have a vision of, okay, I'm planning on marrying you at this time.
Exactly.
If it's money, all right, let me go ahead and stack up money up for a year so we can have a nice wedding. You know what I'm saying? So give yourself that maximum. But I ain't going to get on my knee until I got that plan in my head. Before I say, let's figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
So you reach the next stage when I propose.
That's a real thing, but I think that if you do that, I heard you say manipulation, and I think that's kind of you playing in people's faces when you do that. Because if you propose to somebody, knowing in the back of your mind that you really have no intention on marrying this woman.
Just trying to take off the market.
Like you just say, trying to take off the market because you benefited from all the perks of it.
See, this is idiotic, bro. He's like half right and half wrong at the same time. And this shit is so idiotic. Bro, number one, yes, I actually do agree that that's manipulation if you have no intent of actually marrying the bitch. 100%. But also, it's not taking them off the market. Bitch, they've been off the market. Once we got into a relationship, you are off the market. If you have the mindset of saying, oh, I am single until I'm married, I don't even want to be in a relationship with you, I don't want nothing to do with you, then you just, boom, you just a hoe to me. Bottom line, I'm just going to keep you as a hoe, and it's going to be what it is. I'm not going to be with a woman that has to be married for her to do fucking wife duties. That doesn't make sense because I'm gonna do my fucking husband duties. If we have an intruder, if you get disrespected, I'm gonna provide for you, etc., 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 etc. I'm not gonna do all those duties, and then you not gonna do your duties until you actually get married. That doesn't make sense. No, nah.
Her, and you know how that would make you feel to see her giving out to somebody else, and then you know what it's like.
Y'all are in a relationship, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about? Duh, you don't want to see it with someone else. You don't have to get married for that to not happen. You shouldn't have. Okay, let me rephrase that. You shouldn't have to get married for that to not happen. I don't know if I said it right, but y'all know what I'm saying, bro. Like, what the? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, this is illogical as fuck. Illogical as fuck. Illogical as fuck.
So you trying to hold on to that, but at the same time, it's like, that's so selfish.
That is.
And tomorrow is not promised, so I feel like if you're going to make that commitment, again, like I stated earlier, I don't think it's a certain timeline, but I think that to go 4 or 5 years and you not have any intention of doing that, that's kind of dirty.
I don't think it's a certain timeline, but I do think it's a certain level of being equally yoked. So if a woman is a part of a situation where she said, you know what, I want to be a 3-year fiance because I want to finish my degree and have myself together before I get into this situation and all that, I can understand that. My issue comes into play when it happens like how you said in regards to, oh, I'm going to take her off the market to set her down just to shut her up. I've had numerous people.
I don't like that argument either, though. Because what if she's like cool with it 3 years, but he wants 10 years? What should y'all do then? Should y'all defer to the man? Because guess what? You should defer to the man, right? Or do y'all cut it in the middle and be like, oh, you want 3 years? I want 10 years. Let's do 13 divided by 2. Like 6.5 or some shit. Like, what do you do then? I don't necessarily like that either. I would just say this, right? It seems to me that marriage is not in the cards in modern day. Maybe back in the 50s, maybe back in the 40s, 30s, etc. That was cool. That was something that you should strive to do as a man, as a woman. I don't think that's the case in 2025. I really don't. I don't see a lot of arguments in which you can convince me to get married versus just have a serious relationship. I don't see the benefits of getting married from a male perspective. From a woman's perspective, yeah, if you get married to a dude that has more money, more class, more status, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, then yeah, I can clearly see that. But if you're a dude and the woman that has less, I don't see the benefit of actually getting married. I really don't.
That I have entertained in the past that has tried that.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you know for a fact that you're not my forever mate. You know for a fact that I'm not even made for you because you want to change everything about
So when did you know that? When did it take for you to be like, you playing with me right now? This not really.
Well, see, you can still redeem
For
yourself.
me, it wasn't really them that was them playing with me. It was the matter of me realizing they were so busy trying to change me that they didn't really even want me. They wanted the version of they wanted the version of me that they pictured, that they painted in their head.
Women do that a lot.
That's a great point. A lot of men will definitely try to change them to be who they want, but that's just humans, bro. That's humans. At the end of the day, that's humans. It can definitely happen where you can mold someone to be closer to what you want them to be. But at the same exact time, if that's ingrained of who they are, it's gonna be hard to fucking train that out of them. It's gonna be hard to pull that out of them, etc. A lot of women and men, not just women, but definitely women, have a lot of bad habits, bad mannerisms, personality disorders, trauma, etc., baggage, etc., 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 that you will have to deal with in all the relationships going forward. Unless you're out here getting virgins or some shit, or just young ass women. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna have to train something. Some dudes are not gonna be as masculine. Some women are not gonna be as feminine. Some women not gonna know how to be nurturing, how to take care. Some men probably not gonna be how to be protective. This is a tough dating marketplace in 2025. I'm not gonna lie to you. But overall arching theme is I don't see the benefit from a male perspective to get married in 2025 versus a serious relationship.
Women do it the most.
Unless you're religious.
Yeah, because we want to be married. A lot of women are convinced that, like, oh, I want to be married. It's not I want to be married to you.
Yeah.
It's that I
you
want
wanna be
the
married.
identity and the title
cousin
of
like
being a
that.
wife,
Got a cousin
and
like
you'll
that.
deal with which is why it's easy to manipulate us, because we have this idea, this biological clock, and all these things that go into it, where we're saying, oh, I need this to happen by this time frame, so I'm gonna put up with all of this. So as long as I got the ring, I know I'm getting closer
But
to my goalpost.
to be fair, we have that anxiety that lives in us because of society.
Correct.
Society has told us if you don't have a man, you ain't shit.
Correct.
If you don't have kids.
Well, baby girl, it's not society. It's a downstream from biology. Back in the days, if you didn't have other people around you, you would die. If you didn't have men protecting you, you would die, or for some women, worse. I don't even want to put that energy in this video, but for some women, worse things could happen to you if you didn't have men protection back in the day. But now, since we do have society and we do have the protection of police, military, laws, rules, etc., social norms, etc., you have the freedom to be by yourself. You have the freedom to do whatever it is you want to do, whether it's a career babe, whether it is be a stay-at-home wife. You have the freedom to choose. So, since you have that freedom, you bear the responsibility of those choices. It's just that simple.
You're useless.
Correct.
If you're focused, or if you're hyper focused on your career, you are an independent woman, and people are gonna pretty much wash their hands of you. But this is the same society that tells you, Abdul to say something like, well, what do you bring to the table? Well, y'all told me if I was too independent, I was masculine. Y'all told me if I was over here doing too much, y'all didn't need me, so I wasn't attractive. It's literally just a contradiction after a...
No, it's not. It's very simple. It's just a contradiction because you don't understand simple logic. We want soft, submissive women that we can take care of. Bottom line, point blank, period. Now, in 2025, do both people need to be working for most families? Probably, yeah. So a little bit of masculinity, cool. But not to the point in which you are combating everything I say. You're undermining my authority. You're going against everything that I say. It's a hassle every time I walk in the house. We arguing every time I walk in the house versus I'm setting the rules, you following the rules. We a dynamic. We a team. You know your place. I know my place. And we work together. It's not a contradiction. That's what we want. Now, what you want is to be independent, and that's why it's a contradiction, because you are confusing what you want with what we want. We don't want the same shit. That's why it's a contradiction in your head, because you're fucking I'm not calling no one dumb on this. I'm being respectful, but it's a contradiction in your head because the logic is not logic in your head. What you want is probably to be independent. What you want is to be independent from men. What you want is to have things your way, etc. But in a relationship, you got to give up that power. And in a relationship, we don't want someone that's a fake feminine woman. We don't want someone that's fake submissive, that's conditionally submissive. We don't want none of that. We want a real feminine, submissive, loyal, respectable woman. Bottom line.
A contradiction after a contradiction. What you about to say?
A lot. So the first thing I want to say is, why do women think that men don't date potential either? Most men that say...
Talk on it. Talk on it. Because I ain't going to lie to y'all. I think I've been dating all my life potential, bruh. I don't think I date women that are typically on my level. I think I always date potential, except for one, and that was probably because that was potential too. She couldn't even speak English. so yeah, throughout my whole life, I probably dated potential. But that's going to be most men, bruh. That's going to be most men. Because who decides what's potential or not? Is it physical potential, meaning like, are you dating fat bitches all the time? Because I'm not. So it's typically women that are in shape. Is it intellectual? The same yoked? Maybe. Is it... I see, you got to quantify what it is that the potential is. A lot of people have potential and yet it don't come to fruition. So that's a tough one. I ain't gonna lie to you because I have personal experience on that one myself. But let me see if he cooks.
Different times that a man's gonna propose to a woman. Is either she's earned it, putting up with whatever the fuck they had to go through, or she's worth it. The one who's worth it, it happens a lot faster. Yeah. She gets it in a year, maybe two.
Maybe 6 months.
Maybe 6 months. The one who's earned it, we done been through the trenches together. You still got a lot of you that I want you to work on. I still got a lot of me I want to work on. And we both need to literally put the pieces together. But the problem is, we have the women that are realistically looking for that title. That's not looking to work on themselves.
Yeah, you gotta work on yourself.
And so then now that's why that extra year gets added. and then another year gets added because it's like I'm still dealing with the same problems I told you about 6 years ago.
But at that point, to me,
but that don't mean I don't love you.
Yeah.
I know,
but wait, hold on, because I'm being patient with you.
But if a woman did that,
let me rock.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he was cooking. He was cooking.
Hey, women not.
He didn't say nothing the whole
I'm
time.
being patient with you. That's why I'm here. See, I understand what you can be, and I'm not trying to change you. I'm actually waiting for you.
Wait, fuck. I actually want to see more of that. That was dope. That was a dope conversation. I thought he was gonna be in it though. Anton Daniels was gonna be in it. But yeah, that was a fire conversation. I love that word versus. Yeah. I love that. But I do want to disagree with him on that last point that he made. He said, "I'm not trying to change you." Yes, you are. You're trying to better her, which is trying to change. You want her to be the best version of herself, which is trying to change. So I don't like that he said that. He could just have said, "I want you to be the best version of yourself," etc., etc., etc. Don't say I'm not trying to change you when you actually are trying to change you. Your whole argument is actually hinders on the point that you want her to change certain habits, certain behaviors, etc. That's the only thing I would disagree with him said, but he cooked on that. But ultimately about this, bruh, I haven't seen a single argument in which someone can present to me why you should get married in 2025 as a secularist, meaning as a modern person that doesn't have religious background and not doing it for religious reasons. I haven't seen a single argument for why men in 2025 should or ought to get married. And I don't think I will. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, you already know where to find me, baby. All right, let's carry on.